Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to SA Accounting Academy. Here's a short clip on one of our previous webinars. I hope that you really do enjoy it.
So, good morning again, guys. I'm so excited to once more be presenting to this audience. Our topic for this morning is such an exciting one. It's different and it's really, it's thought-provoking, I guess. Good morning. I think it's Panumati. Good morning. Good morning. So this is one of those topics I think that by very nature, we don't want to theorize on. We want it to be very practical, I guess that would be the word. Yeah, because I mean, we're all accountants and we operate within a certain context. So when we talk about ethics, we don't want to approach it from a theoretical point of view, but we want to, approach it from a very sort of realistic, point of view in terms of what we experience in our various environments. So it is with that in mind that I would like to encourage all of you to please just let me know that you're listening. Post your thoughts and questions on the chat. I'll be looking at them as we go, and if there's any questions towards the end as well, we can also tackle them at the end. I've put myself on camera for now. Good morning, Malulega. Good morning. I've put myself on video for now, just by way of introduction. And then as we go, I'll take off the video and then I'll come back again towards the end. It just makes it so much easier to navigate and do all of that, when I'm off camera. But yeah, so just a little bit about myself. So my name is Constance Kawelenga. I have at least 23 years. At some point, I think I've stopped counting. I have at least 23 years of experience in different sectors, from audit, accounting and tax, as well as in commerce. And I started my accounting and audit firm in 2013 rather. And it's been such a steep learning curve over the years. I mean, there is no 1 year where I've sort of felt like it's smooth sailing and, easy going and, I've stopped learning. It's literally a steep learning curve the whole way. And, the thing is, when I started my accounting career, in fact, maybe let me just, before we get there, in terms of me starting my firm, the reason why I started my firm and I left the sort of formal commercial space is I was looking for different things. My family was quite young. I wanted to be master of my own time and destiny. I wanted that flexibility so that I could enjoy my family while creating something that I could hopefully grow into a big thing, one of these days. And what that big thing was, I didn't quite know at the beginning. I just know that it was this thing that would place me on the map. So what I've learned over the years is the value of doing something that I love. And I think what's great about running my own practice is that I can actually do that. I can, I've got the flexibility and the wherewithal to focus on things that I actually really love and enjoy. And one of the things that I really love and enjoy is just really breathing life into businesses and turning my skills to good use. So I'm really, one of the things that I'm also, I would say, obsessed with of late, especially, is the idea of passing on what I've learned to the next generation of accountants, right? In particular, those who haven't had easy access to opportunities, because that's something that, because of my background and where I came from and everything, it resonates highly with me. And so today we want to talk about how we balance, ambition and giving back, right? And how the two can actually coexist. It's not, they're not mutually exclusive, right? We can actually do both. And because of what we do, we have the, how do I put it? Yeah, what we do, I think, allows us to be able to do both. And for me, I find that sometimes I get the balance wrong and it tips in the wrong direction, and then I correct that. But it's always it's always fairly easy to steer it back. So ultimately, I believe that in the long term, what I've done for others and for my community and for my environment will ultimately mean more, or be more meaningful than what I've done for myself. That's just a realization that I've just had over the years. So I'm just going to take myself off screen, but I'll carry on talking. Right. So so I think one of the biggest, I'd call it a folly. It's really the belief that life is only about getting ahead and making it big and getting the most that we can out of our environment. Now, all of that is important. And I am as driven as the next person, don't get me wrong. But I think it's about balance, like I alluded to earlier on. So how many of you, and feel free to post in the chat and really make this fun and interactive, but how many of you were told as you started your accounting careers that, once you qualify as an accountant, as a CA, the world will be your oyster? And that's very, very true. And yeah, for sure, the profession opens so many doors for us. However, what I've come to understand is that, as with other things in life, with each open door, there's always another door to open and then another. And I feel that it's possible sometimes to chase like an illusion or a mirage in the belief that it's the material things that are going to satisfy you, right? And again, I'm not knocking the material things because we all want those, right? But I think many of you can attest to the fact that once you've discovered along the way that the real beauty of life is actually living your life, right? Experiencing your life, and especially if you do that within the context of a community, right? And even the most introverted of us needs connection and needs community and needs that feeling of belongingness and being a valued member of something that's bigger than just themselves as an individual. I hope you can attest to that. Now, Tim Elmore is a respected, I guess, is a sociologist, and one of the things that he said is that sociologists tell us that. Thanks, Alfred. Absolutely, yes, you need a balanced life. Sociologists tell us that the most introverted of people will influence 10,000 others in an average lifetime. So imagine how many people you have already in your lifespan, whether knowingly or not knowing, influenced so far. So every person that you come across has, there's the potential that either they impact you or you impact them, or it goes both ways, right? So my question is, as accountants, going about our business, doing what we do, how do we want to yield that impact? Because we've got a lot of power, I would say, in that we hold in our hands. So when I was a trainee accountant, I was so convinced that my life was all about what I could get, and in fact, that really shaped a lot of my decisions and a lot of my interactions. Now, this is it's a mentality that I call consumer mentality to a certain extent, because it comes from a belief that we're here to gain and not so much to contribute to the world, right? So if my younger self had grasped very early on in life the fundamental principle that perhaps I've been deployed into this place that we call the world, right? This place that we call the earth, not so much to consume, but to also contribute to my community, my environment. I just think that I would have made a different set of choices to some of the choices that I've made. And trust me, I'm not saying that I've made a lot of bad choices, but I just feel like if I'd had that mindset right from the, that worldview right from the beginning, I think I would have made less individualistic choices, right? And having said that, I think it's a process also. It's never too late to adopt a new perspective. And it's also quite possible that maybe I wasn't ready for that mindset. I still needed to walk that journey and tick off what I thought were my priorities then, and then realize some fundamentals along the way. Because the truth of it is that most of us learn through experience, right? And so maybe I needed to go through a space where, or a journey where I came full circle to that realization that acquiring more doesn't necessarily translate to being more fulfilled. I guess that's the word. So I guess that's really the large part of the message of today's webinar. And I have to admit, I have to be vulnerable for a minute and just admit that it felt like a broad.
I hope that you enjoyed that video. For more of our webinar videos, go to www.accountingacademy.co.za. Thank you and have a lovely day.